Okay, here is, well, we're going to see. First step. First step is let's move this dirty lacquer thinner away from the fire, okay, and all other flammables. So I think I've got a little reducer in there. Just basically, my heat gun is at a different location, so we're going to do this with the propane torch, and maybe you guys will be able to see it happen. But this is what I like to store my brushes in. This is non-detergent 30 weight motor oil. Okay, so what we do is put the brush in here, get some oil on it. Okay, then my desk is just at the slightest angle, so it will run downhill if I'm not careful. And you want it to be like a good, like really sopping wet. Make sure, really work it in, especially if it's going to be a brush this big. You know, work it in as much as possible. That should be good. Okay, but now you can, even with this, you can see how this brush it's just not holding the shape the right way. It's curved. I do not want that. So here's the trick. I know this works a lot better with sword brushes. I've not done it with a brush this big. If I ruin it, okay, well then whatever, I got to get another one. So I think this is almost assed out, this particular propane torch. So I'm not going to be getting a hot blue flame, which is not what you want anyways. Let me turn this light off. So I'm just going to turn that on a little bit. Okay. And then I'm basically just putting this over the flame, and I'm gonna try to hold the stick up a little bit so that the hairs are flat and laying flat. And I just want to kind of warm it. You should see the hairs spread out a little bit. See the oil get thinner. You know, basically like you're cooking the brush. And again, I've not done it with a brush this big before, with this many hairs. But you're kind of realigning the hair. Now, as I look around the edge, if I start to see the edge hairs spread out too much, then I'll think that I'm cooking it too much. I know if you try to do this is natural hair. If you try to do this with a synthetic brush, you're gonna melt them. They're gonna curl up and whatever. So I'm just gonna work it back and forth and try to get it back into its natural shape. God knows if it's going to work or not. This whole thing might be a fail. I might not even put it on the rest of the video. Yeah, but I can see some of those hairs kind of creeping out a little bit along the side. I might have it. Not totally sure. But again, you know, working with an open, I can actually feel the plate getting hot on my fingertips where I'm holding it. So I know it's got to be pretty hot in the middle. And I'm kind of just overkilling it. I might not need to do it this long, but I just want to make sure, you know, I'm making this thing my bitch. Okay, so I'm going to quit there, turn this off, and I'll rinse the oil out. And then see what kind of, see this right now, it looks like it's holding a pretty decent shape just by, you know, wiping the oil out. But let's get it in the lacquer thinner here and see what happens. Now, the real test is, once I have this completely dry of lacquer thinner, there's no oil in it, there's no lacquer thinner, but it looks promising. Right now, get it over the white area here. It looks like it's holding its shape pretty good, how it's supposed to. If you saw earlier in the video where I had what I'm doing right now, dried the brush out. Yeah. Looks good to me. This stuff it's not curved. It's not doing anything funky at all. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna actually use this oil right here. It's cooled down. I can put my brush in this oil, preserve it, and worked. This is gonna pull letters the way that I want them to. Now, when it's curved like that, it's kind of, the brush bristles are not bending the way that you want them to, and you can't get that nice, stroke, that you want to get with it. It's not doing and it's not giving you the strokes that you want. I mean, it's oil, I know you can't see, but yeah, happy with that. First time on a brush this big, but that's how it works. When you're doing it yourself, you can see it right in front of you, and I kind of had it lifted up above my eye level to get it, over the torch and into a camera range. But you can actually see in lettering brushes, you can see the bristles kind of just settle into themselves. The same thing will happen with your sword brushes. They'll just realign and straighten out, and it's a neat little trick that I learned. And some old timer passed it down to my buddy Jeremy, and then he passed it down to me. And this is one of the ways that I end up spending not a lot of money on brushes. I mean, I am freaking miserly when it comes to these things. I've got brushes I haven't even used yet. But it's a great way to restore perfectly good brushes, and I hope you find that useful. So, see you on the next segment. Until then.